Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Puck and Stuff podcast, presented by, well, a man can dream.
A man can dream.
Hey, so my name is T-Dog, and my partner in crime here is B-Dog.
Hey, what's up, boys? How we doing tonight?
Wow, it's crazy. We're finally doing this, huh?
First one.
Yeah.
Very first podcast, boys. We're doing this for you, and see if it actually works. But it should be a fun time with my buddy Tristan here, talking about sports that we love, and Calgary Flames always crushing our dreams of actually making playoffs and winning a cup.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's funny, right? Because that's what we talk about a lot is sports and all that, just in regular conversation. So one day we're like, well, let's just do a podcast, and I guess we're doing it now, huh? Crazy stuff, crazy stuff. How are you feeling?
I'm a bit nervous, but again, the only person I'm talking to is you technically right now, so maybe it won't be so bad.
True. I'm honestly hoping that when people see this and stuff, it's mostly going to just be people that we know, right? So, hopefully don't give us too hard of a time, but shout out to you guys. You guys are awesome, and hey, hopefully don't get annoyed at our voices too quick.
Yeah, give us some notes in the comments, and give us a like, and share and subscribe. That would be much appreciated from the boys here. And I think we'll go right into it by talking about our first topic, Kodak Black. Oh, what a guy. What a guy.
So if you don't know what happened, so the Canucks were in Florida for a match, I want to say 3 or 4 days ago from the time we recording this podcast. And people were seeing him in the booth. He was in one of those suite booths, right? Ooh. Right next to the Florida Panthers organization's booth, by the way. And his girl was doing a few devious acts on
From
his,
afar, it didn't look stuff. Right.
No. But it's pretty funny, though. Because have you seen Florida? And how they're doing now after that whole
was
scenario?
It against...
It was against the Canucks.
Against the Canucks?
Yes, it was.
On Tuesday.
Yeah.
They won 5-2.
Dude, it's crazy, man. They are scoring like it's nothing. Today, I think the score's 9-3. Man, they have depth.
9-2 the final today.
They have depth. It is phenomenal.
They're scary. They're 26-7 right now, and that team's hot. Their goaltending's finally gotten back together. Their whole team looks great all around. I can't see anything wrong with it.
No. Well, the thing for me was when Coach Joe Quenneville, their ex-coach, got fired or was let go because of all the stuff that happened with the Kyle Beach situation in Chicago. I really thought there was going to be a bit of not a hesitation, but the team was just going to go downhill a bit. But, man, they have no signs of slowing down. It's crazy. They are scoring like it's nothing. Verhaeghe is getting points. Man, Sam Bennett. We're going to talk about the
mad.
We're going to talk about the Flames
fan.
Later.
As a Flames fan, he kind of deserves finally getting points like that somewhere, but damn, you wish it was your team.
No, that's what happens when you actually play him correctly.
When you play him correctly, he actually gathers points.
I don't put him down.
Speaking of the Flames, I think that's where our next topic is. We need to talk about our team, the Calgary Flames, because it's not a pretty sight right now, and it's kind of concerning. Because we just played Ottawa the other day, and we lost 4-1.
We always lose to Ottawa.
It's always Ottawa. Is it just because of it? Brady Tkachuk? Like, what are you doing?
It's a curse or something, that's what I'm saying. It's the new Honda Center curse, except it's just a team instead of an arena.
Don't give me that.
Oh, man.
So, overall, the scoreboard doesn't really tell me much. It looked like a really close game if you really look at the stats, because either no team was really killing on the power play, both teams are kind of shooting their shots, kind of all over the place in this game. But it's looked a lot closer than it should be, but I won't get that mad about it. Yeah, as much as we're Flames fans, we didn't actually watch that game. We were busy with other things. I know, crazy. We have lives. That's something. But they've lost the last 4, and it's definitely taken a toll. I was going through media and stuff and looking, and Coach Sutter had a bit of a media day there and was quoted saying that the emotion is lost in the room, and I agree. The team doesn't really seem to have the heart that they had a month ago. Remember when we went to the game against the Rangers where they blew them out 6-0? Like, that team seemed to have more swagger. This team right now doesn't seem to have it. Not enough emotion. That's what he described it as. Not enough emotion, which was very interesting to hear, because usually I thought we would have been fine just because of how our performance was. I thought the emotion would have been kicked up a bit, but again, as a Flames fan, I'm not in whole panic mode right now because of this. I'm in, okay, we're on a losing streak. We need to get out of it and get out of the slump.
Yeah.
If they can get out of the slump, we'll probably be okay. But again, it was some tough teams on this 4-game losing streak because we had Florida got 6-2. And then we versed Tampa and it was 4-1. And then we versed Carolina 6-3. And then obviously Ottawa 4-1. And then we versed Florida again on Tuesday. Next Tuesday.
Oh boy. That's not good.
It's kind of not looking so fresh right now.
I think there's two ways to look at this scenario right now. One, it's that you are playing against, I would say, the top 3 best teams, or when they lost, besides the Senators game, you played the top 3 best teams in the league: Carolina, Tampa, Florida. And so I think that kind of shows where you're at. However, you can think of it more of a glass half empty scenario where, well, you're not close to these teams, which you would like to be, right? Because at this point, with, the age of our core and stuff, you don't just want to win playoff rounds. You want to go to the finals. It's about time, right? With a goaltending and forward depth, which you'd hope that we have, which it's just not showing right now.
The forward depth? Well, okay, I'm gonna show you some stats right now. Who do you think is the number 1 point leader for the Flames right now?
Johnny G right now, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, good.
Who's second? Who's right behind him?
My head said Lucic initially as a joke. I know it's not Lucic.
He's a lot higher on this list than he should. I'll say that.
That's for sure. Lindholm's second, correct?
Matthew Tkachuk.
Oh, so it is
32
okay.
points.
It's Tkachuk, and then is it Lindholm?
Yes.
Okay, and then Mangiapane's next after that, right?
Correct.
Cool.
Actually, the fifth, who's actually behind him, is very shocking.
Is it Lucic then?
No, it's Oliver
Shillington is
Shillington. There we go. I can't pronounce his name right.
No.
Oliver Shillington is He's
hold on. What's the points at? I haven't checked.
He
in a minute.
has 4 goals and 15 assists with 11 plus minus.
19 points.
That's impressive.
You know what? He was going to be... So we're going to actually have a segment later in the podcast about shocking players and stuff for the year. So surprising spoiler, I guess, to say. But Shillington at the start of the season was up there for the shockers. So actually, it makes sense, and I'm glad. But that also, to me, begs another thought that I had was Yusuf Alamaki. The problem with this Flames, and I think the Flames organization has had this problem for multiple years, 10 plus, honestly, where you develop a bunch of these players and you don't use them. Like Yusuf Alamaki, the poor dude, he's not being used anymore, and when he gets a shot, it's just not seeming to work out. Not last year, the year before the COVID thing.
Pandemic, you mean?
Oh man, honestly, it feels like everything's just a blur since COVID started.
Well, again, I said this a few days ago about this team, and it's a very rocky. You're in a bumpy start because at the beginning of the season, you're killing it. You're doing great, and the team looks perfect in any way. It's actually showing its potential of where it's supposed to be and actually proving people wrong. However, as soon as we got that weird pandemic kind of, everyone had to self-isolate because of everyone got COVID, whole team sick, get some time off, hang out with family, celebrate New Year's, and then you kick off a new year, right? Nope. Calgary just said, no, I'm good, and I'm kind of lays back against these Florida teams, which they're kind of suffering right now. But, however, I don't blame it on goaltending, because if you look at the goaltending right now, Markstrom is 12-8, and he has 2.23 goals against average, and his save percentage is still probably one of the best in the league at .924. that's still pretty impressive.
I don't think he gets a lot of help. A lot of games.
Oh no.
Where it's the defense just seems to struggle getting out of the zone, and it's the converting from defense to offensive play. You know, that transition game, which I find can be very sluggish or can be inconsistent, especially during games where we're like, you know, losing by more than 2 goals. And I think that kind of showed him in the Florida game. The problem is like, you know, we're a team built with grit, we have veteran force and stuff. There's a bit of speed, but I don't think the Flames are honestly as fast as they need to be for this new kind of era of hockey where it's a lot about speed. You know, like
It's very shocking to hear that from a team that has Johnny Gaudreau on it.
Which is weird, right? I don't know. It's the team just seems to kind of have a bit of delay when it comes to that kind of offensive rush. But when the team wins, they win with a bit of swagger, you know.
They look good. They look really good when they all play together. And
exactly, like there will be like a nice Kachuk goal or something, or a great power play. When the power play works too, right? When the power play is working, then the team also is plays pretty consistent.
I kind of want to actually look how they're doing on power plays and stuff.
That's actually a good stat to check up. You know, it's funny because we're not analytic nerds, but.
No, we look at the stats when we need to.
Yeah,
when they really come in, we need to look at stats to make sure and be like, hey, is this looking as legit as I think?
I guess for podcasts, you kind of need to do that, inform the people. I think most people who are, you know, talk about or listen to sports podcasts know about the sport, but
yeah.
Hey, maybe we can teach a few people.
But again, I look at the Calgary Flames right now, and I'm not crazy worried yet. I'm really not.
No,
and,
me neither.
It looks like I got some stats here about what's going on here. So their power play percentage is 21.21. That's not that's obviously there's a lot better teams in the league doing better. Like I look at
21%.
Yep, like 21%. St. Louis is at 29%. Holy, Toronto's at 29%. Holy cow!
If I'm correct, 30% is the above average. Correct? Excuse me, 30 to 35% of power play success.
Yeah, basically, that's how it works. And holy cow, the Flames have a really good power play or a penalty kill. Sorry, they're at 84% on their penalty kill. That's pretty good. Because looking at the rest of these teams, like the highest is Carolina with 90% penalty kill. But
here's Carolina.
Yeah. Oh, it's always Carolina.
You'll hear them a lot for sure.
It's always Carolina.
Lindholm's ex-team. Yeah, the Flames are they can be confusing sometimes. I think like it's just another one of those weeks or a few weeks of just a bit of sluggishness. I think they'll get back to it, especially with Daryl Sutter. He seems to knock them in line. I laugh because when I go on the Flames subreddit, this is kind of fun. And whenever there's the game on, there's a game thread. So everyone's like talking about the game and stuff, and everyone's joking, right? They're like, "Oh, Sutter must have whooped him back in line because Kachuk at the start of the second period scores a goal. Like I think it was like 46 seconds into the period.
It was a petty score goal.
Well,
it was a petty.
It's Captain Kachuk, which also begs the top of conversation too. Maybe a leadership role. Maybe that could help out the team. I think most of us would also agree that Kachuk will most likely be the next captain of this team. I think he has the ability. He shows it a lot day in and day out. So maybe that might switch something up. But the thing is, we're probably not going to get that captaincy changes and stuff, or that captaincy announcement probably till next season.
I'm pretty confident him and both brothers would be the first ever captain brothership or something like that, right? They would be the first two brothers that are captains at the exact same time, right?
That's a good trivia question. I was gonna say, my mind went to the Stahl brothers, but that makes no sense because Eric Stahl has been the only Stahl brother to be a captain. Correct?
Yeah, same with the Sedins. They were on the same team.
Oh, of course. But there's so many siblings.
Here's a trivia: who has the most? Which siblings have the most points in the NHL?
Oh, I like this one.
Do you know that?
Hold on. Don't say anything. I want the comment section to figure this out. So if you hear this, timestamp it. And then in the comment section, give us the answer of the siblings that have the most points. I think it'll be kind of
in NHL history,
funny.
which siblings have the most points in the NHL?
Yeah, so
You're
don't give him the answer.
I won't give you the answer, but give him some trivia. It'll be fun.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. So I think it's now time to switch to our next segment, our first segment. Our truly first segment of the show, and it's Top 6 Shockers. Tristan and I will give 3 players from the league so far this week that have given us kind of a shock from the beginning of the season. Didn't expect them to give the performance that they have given so far. So we'll start with Tristan. You give number 6.
Am I going first? Okay.
Yeah, we'll give you number 6.
Number 6. So pretty much we divided it so that I have 3. I also have some honorable mentions. So, what do you think? Do you think I should give out the honorable mentions?
Give your
as well?
honorable mentions and then go right into 6.
Okay, cool. So, oh man. So I have a few honorable mentions, and what I'll just do, I have on my list, I have 4. So I'll just quickly go over them, not go into too much detail, but just see how Brendan thinks about these. So honorable mention number 1, Jack Campbell, goaltender for the Toronto Maple Leafs. See, if you're a Leafs fan, you're probably like laughing at me right now, like, oh, well, what do you think? But the thing for me is, I honestly never expected Jack Campbell to, replace Frederik Andersen's shoes and do it really well. He has a great save. Like when I was checking the stats today, his save percentage is great, and I think he's over double in wins from the losses. And he's been solid every night. So yeah, I think Jack Campbell, man, he deserves to be in the AllStar game, honestly.
You think so?
For sure. Number 2, Jordan Kyrou. Man, this guy is like, he's going on a bit of a spurt where he gets a lot of points and then quiet a bit, but then a lot of points again, and he's been helping the Blues. The Blues are a weird team. I didn't expect them to kind of be where they're at, but I don't know. Craig Berube seems to be doing something with them. But Jordan Kyrou has been a great addition for secondary scoring. I guess I consider Kyrou secondary scoring because he's not really primary, right? But it's crazy. He's putting up some points right now. Number 3. This one might be pretty shocking for honorable mentions, because you might not expect him to be even in the category of shocked or shocking players or surprising players per se, but I put Tyler Bertuzzi, all right, the unvaxxed legend himself. No,
sound like Aaron Rodgers over there.
Yeah,
he's the Aaron Rodgers of the NHL.
Exactly, man.
I wish he was as popular.
So Tyler Bertuzzi, right? So because he's doesn't have the jabs and stuff, he can't play. He can't travel to the Canadian cities to play with the team. So he has played less games, but he has been racking up points too. I like his style of play. I think him and Dylan Larkin. I think honestly, trust the Yzer plan. Detroit's gonna be crazy, and I think Bertuzzi, because of how the team is progressing. With great young players and just better development and stuff, I think Bertuzzi's being rewarded because of just how the team is playing.
Oh, 100%.
And my last honorable mention is William Nylander from the Toronto Maple Leafs. Yeah, scoring a lot of goals right now, so good for him. You know what? I always thought of him as the overrated.
I always kind of thought he got kind of a little bit of a shadow from Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews. He was kind of like, obviously he was like the first one drafted, I believe, out of that group of 3, because he was in 2014. I know Mitch Marner was 2015, and then Austin Matthews was obviously 2016, and. Yeah. I think he got overshadowed a little bit in that group of 3, and good for him for finally stepping up to the plate and being that, hey, I'm not just hiding back here anymore.
Yeah.
I'm a legit player that can actually play
do
what I need to.
I don't know if Nylander was ever used well when, for say, Babcock was the coach before Sheldon Keefe, but it's great because Nylander's proving me wrong. He's proven a lot of people wrong. Mitch Marner's kind of doing the opposite, but it's great. It's good to see a Calgary-born player, and he's Swedish, but he's born in Calgary, so gotta shout him out there. But it's pretty cool.
All right, let's start with number 6.
So number 6 for me, the reason why he's so high up on this list is because of the team he's on, and it is the goaltender Philip Grubauer for the Seattle Kraken. Right. So I got some stats for you here. So
all
Philip
right.
Grubauer
Hit me with them.
has 7 wins and 15 losses. Right.
Ew.
This season.
That's not a good look for your third Your
Now,
sixth shock of the week, hey?
Do you want to hear about the goals against and the save percentage?
Oh my god. Okay.
Goals against 3.37. So this dude is allowing almost 3.5 goals a game, and his save percentage is an 880. That is not elite status.
Why that?
When he was in Colorado, okay, I was one of those people who honestly thought that Grubauer, that he just I don't even know what the word is right now, but he wasn't carried by the team. I thought it was just that the team had good, great scoring, great D, great goaltending. They can beat you in all three ways, by outscoring you, out defending you, and out goaltending you. I think in a sense that's true, but poor Grubauer right now just isn't doing it. Now the thing is, and that kind of begs the question, is that he's on Seattle. Seattle's a new team, and they're built to not win now. They're built for long-term success. So, you know what? Looking at the team, we should have expected, this team isn't going to do too much, but I think because of Las Vegas, we kind of had an overestimation for how the team would do. And I just honestly thought Philip Grubauer was going to play better this year. I mean, hey, maybe he'll pick it up a bit. And it's very much possible. But you know what? I think he'll have bounce-back season like next year. But this year, I really thought he was going to, shock a bit. I thought he was going to kind of prove everything. And heck, I drafted him on my fantasy team. So I kind of traded him for Igor Shesterkin because... it wasn't working. Oh, sorry, no, not Shesterkin. I had Igor, Elvis Merch Lincoln, so that's who I flipped for. Cool. Okay.
Number 5?
For me, number 5.
Oh wait, I thought I was going back and forth.
Okay, you know what? It's gonna be back and forth because who I have here is not number 5.
Okay, so I have number 5, and this guy's been through a lot in the last few years, and he obviously won his 2 Stanley Cups, which were much needed through a harsh injury season, or injury career more like, and I have Steven Stamkos. Mm-hmm. Steven Stamkos, he's been on the Lightning for years, he's the captain, he's supposed to be the top dog of that team, right? Nope. He's been injured almost every season, just crippled of something going on with his body, and it's really shitty to see a player like that, but now he's bouncing back, and his stats are starting to show with 18 goals, 28 assists, 46 points, and he leads 6th in points in the NHL. That's really impressive with a +5 plus minus, and that's really impressive because, again, when you have injuries like that, they affect you mentally, and it obviously takes a toll on your body. So good for him to be able to bounce back in those kind of situations and help him win some cups and be a contender.
Yeah, how many more cups do they win, do you think?
Well, if it's against Calgary, it's going to be a BS wrong. It's going to be a BS final if it's against us again.
It depends if Kucherov...
We're not going to win it.
It depends if Kucherov is injured again. Because if Kucherov gets injured, then, they'll have more cap space, and then they can just start buying out all the other 20 goals for third liners.
They're going to go another 18 mil over the cap just to win a Stanley Cup.
Exactly.
But, I think Steven Stamkos overall is much improved over the tough career he's going through, and I respect that.
I wouldn't say tough. I mean, I'm glad you picked him in here, though. Well, the injuries, I get what you mean, but I mean... Point-wise, I mean, he's won he's won the cup and stuff. I mean, he's nowhere near the 60-goal pace where he was in 2012, of course. That's kind of a one-off thing. But I think Stamkos has, for what the cards he's been dealt with the injuries and stuff, he has been still there. His relevancy isn't as crazy as, Nikita Kucherov or, the defenseman Victor Hedman on that team and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But, man, Tampa Bay, the fact that, now their captain, Stamkos is finally healthy... this team just will not, this team is going to be good for a long, long time because the amount of, I keep saying depth, I'm going to say this all through all the podcasts, talk about depth, because I feel like it's one of the most important things about winning a cup, but that's why Tampa Bay won those 2 cups.
Gotta respect
because
that
they have
too.
depth, and they score on you, and they out-defense you, and they out-goaltender you. So, similar to Colorado, except Tampa Bay actually can finish.
Good. Well, that was number 5, so let's jump right to number 4. Give me your number 4,
man.
buddy.
So now that it's number 4, he's got to be up on here. So I feel bad. I apologize to this player for being number 4. He deserves to be up here. So maybe I'll make it up to him at the end of the season and stuff. But number 4 is Nazem Kadri.
Oh my God! Wow, that came out of nowhere. That guy.
Man, I feel bad for putting him at number 4.
Being in Toronto, and then just bouncing out of nowhere in Colorado. Wow, what a player! That's very shocking.
Works well with him. What's amazing with Kadri is McKinnon was injured for I think the first month and a half, if I'm correct. First month and a half of the season.
Pretty much.
He comes in, and he just takes the lead for that, with Landeskog, and with Makar, and with Mikko Rantanen, and just the scoring has been there all season. So, I'll give you the stats here. His goals are 14 goals on the season, 35 assists, so he's got a bit of a playmaking ability, which is really nice. So he's got 49 points. He's almost at 50 points. In 32 games played.
He's 5th in the league for points,
crazy.
So that is much improvement for like a player that everyone thought would be like at least a second line center.
Sure. Like he'll probably his scoring numbers will most likely decrease at the end of the season, but it's impressive because he's 31, so he's just ending his prime. What we use it for prime? 27, 28.
Prime is for the NHL. Prime could be like 24 now. Your prime can start at 24 and end at 30.
Especially with the speed. Okay.
Because seeing these younger players nowadays, your prime could be like 23. You could just enter the league and your prime is like there because your body is just the guys work their bodies like insane. It's the older we get with more technology and everything, it's just your body's going to look better and everything. And, well, not look, but you know what I mean.
No, I know what you mean. Like in the sense the advancement of athleticism and stuff and training and all that. Sure. But I think that's a great segment that we can talk about later down the road on another podcast to talk about because of how the game is so different. I guess prime can change, but it's great for Kadri, right? I think he's in a bit of a different role than what he was with the Leafs, just because the Avalanche team is honestly built differently than what the Leafs were when he was on that team, per se.
Oh yeah.
But he still has his grit. He still plays a bit with the edge. But that's why some people don't like him. But man, good for him with the 49 points. It's good. It's nice to see other players it's good to see more experienced players still have that edge in the league, especially because it's becoming, like we were saying, a younger athlete's game. But yeah, that was number 4, right? So number 3.
Oh boy, number 3. So number 3 on my list is, I honestly believe Steven Stamkos should have been my number 3, but this one's personal to me, so I gotta go with Johnny Hockey, Johnny Gaudreau. This one is very personal to me because when we first drafted, he was a 4th round pick. Fourth round pick, and no one really thought of anything because of his size, and he kind of came out of nowhere for the Flames. And honestly, I was really prepared to see Sean Monahan and Johnny Gaudreau be that next Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews that Chicago had. But that sadly never happened, and Gaudreau showed his moments of potential of those 80-point seasons and leading us to playoffs and then disappearing, which was always nice to see. But for once, he's actually shown he's doing really well so far in the season with 15 goals and 24 assists, 39 points, and a plus 18. That's really impressive.
He's one of the few. Actually, I wouldn't even say few, but he's definitely one of the people coming out of this season for the Flames that is a nice shocker. Because it seemed like with all the rumors about people wanting him out for to be traded and stuff, it's nice that he's having a bounce back season pretty much.
Yeah, he got selected for the AllStar game as well.
Do you think it's his wife? Because they got married. You
think he got an Italian wife and was like, okay, fine, start
playing.
Bro,
it's different. He got, you know what I mean? I bet you it's because he got married and his wife was like, all right,
I need more money. You need to play better so he can get a new contract. Because his contract ends after this year, doesn't it? That's a good question.
And he's if I'm correct, he's a UFA.
Yeah, he should be.
No, could you remind us to be an RFA? We were talking about this before the podcast. I can't remember. But it's great to see him. I'll
He
play.
becomes a UFA.
But okay, ugh,
Kachuk becomes an RFA
Okay, yeah,
next
so it was Chucky. That's an RFA.
Oh God!
Oh man, So Gaudreau with UFA. So you hope you do something this year because with how he's playing,
that decides his contract. Depends on everything. He's 28.
I'll just play.
But he is young.
But I'll just play the devil's advocate here. We haven't seen him do anything in the playoffs. So what do you think? Like, does this even matter? This conversation even matter if, say, the Flames make the playoffs and they don't even do anything?
It's It gives a little bit of expectation. It's like, hey, cool, he can play in a regular season still. I don't know how he'll do in playoffs, even if we make playoffs. Knock on wood for that one. However, it's still a gamble with him because I've never truly seen him play all out in a playoff game, and that's always concerning to the back of my head, but I still have that glimmer of hope for him because it's my team. I have to. I always have to have that.
Exactly. You have to have the little biases there and stuff.
Yeah, so again, I'm going to stop being biased about Johnny Gaudreau, and I think we should jump to number 2.
Okay, cool.
My boy.
Before we do my pick there, I'm just going to quickly out with Gaudreau and stuff.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's that even like deals with trade value as well. If say we go to the playoffs, doesn't do anything, right? The trade value lowers because he's just known as a regular season player. I think if he was to go on a team that would want more scoring, I don't even know which team he'd go to right now off the top of my head, but like he'd be a great
team
addition.
that needs scoring right now.
Well, no. I mean even more because think how Vegas is stacking their team up, right? They like when Jack Eichel comes back, it's going to be a line of Jack Eichel, Mark Stone, Max Pacioretty. That's crazy.
Yeah, they're going to
could
that second round.
Could be added to a team and make a super line, right?
I'm calling it right now. Second round exit Vegas. I'm
Perfect.
calling it right now.
Perfect. All right, there's my bias showing.
There's my bias showing of, dude, this team, they had that miracle year. Like, remember when they first joined the league? They got a bunch of second line grinders, and they just went off with Fleury back there, killing it still. And then they lost to Washington, and then it kind of started there with the playoff luck.
See, with that, it kind of screwed Seattle up because GMs got smart and understood, oh, man, they can, like, kind of...
Oh, they have potential to be a contender with with the expansion draft,
Yeah,
but
true.
Seattle obviously didn't go that route.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're getting off topic here. Sorry. Anyways, with Gaudreau, I think it's a good pick. I'm glad he's doing better. I think he'll stay consistent, and I guess we'll see what happens with the playoffs. Okay, so number 2. Speaking of age, oh my goodness, and he's still going. He's on that Russian gas all the time. You know who I'm talking about? Alexander Oven
Still
Chicken.
going, the grade 8.
I know, Alexander Ovechkin. I call him Oven Chicken just because me and my cousin used to always call him that. Don't know why, but it was just a funny joke that we have. Man, Ovechkin, man, I really hope he breaks the goal record. So if you don't know, Ovechkin pretty much is at a pace where he most likely could pass the Great One's goal record, and I'm rooting for it, and I honestly think it can happen. But let me just go with the stats here. So right now, Alexander Ovechkin in 53 games has 25 goals. So he's gonna get the 30-goal pace. We know this.
He could be on pace for like over 50-goal season.
Yeah. So he could, dude. The way he is scoring, I wouldn't even be surprised if he hit 60 this year.
Dude,
and I'm not even joking.
He's played 38 games, crazy. And he's like 3rd in the NHL for points.
And he's got 28 assists. So he's not even just goal scoring. He's having his playmaking abilities.
His plus minus is 16 plus.
And what was crazy too is when I was looking at Ovechkin's stats, I was thinking, oh, a lot of those assists and a lot of those points might come from the power play. I think he only has about only like 12 of those points, like just less than half are from the power play, which is like crazy.
That's Ovi for you.
It's 5-on-5. This is, like I said, 37 games played, 53 points. And, hey, he's 36 years old with a plus 15 rating this season.
He kind of has proven to himself that 9.55-year contract is kind of worth it.
Oh, yeah.
If he can do this for the next 5 years, hell, sign him like a 2-year $10 million if he still wants to play and break the record.
You know what? I think now that he has his cup and he's pretty much won everything, this is his next goal, and I think he's not going to stop till he gets it.
Dude, why would you not want to win another? I
Well,
think he
no,
can
no, no, no.
totally win another.
I
How
think
he's
too.
playing and the team's looking, he could totally win another.
I personally don't think the Caps win this year, but I think the Caps have possibility if they can, add a few more and keep out of the IR injury reserve and stuff. I think the team goaltending too.
What's your early prediction winner for the Cup?
Well, should we keep
You
conversation?
want to keep that for later?
That's
okay,
what I
I'll
think,
keep that for later.
Yeah, we'll keep it for later.
Yeah, I'll let you continue.
But yeah, 36 years old. It's funny how we're just literally just talking about how it's becoming like a younger athlete's game. And this dude's 36 years old and he's still scoring like he's in his prime.
Hey, that's always a good
It's
thing.
crazy, man.
We've seen that guy grow.
Good
we have
for
every
him.
right to see that.
I know, it's like we grew up with like him and Crosby, so it's really cool seeing it. It's kind of sad, like you realize that you're
Era's
growing
ending,
up.
man. Era's ending.
I know, and now it's the McDavid get the
No,
cup instead
don't
of
start.
the
Don't
Ovechkin.
start me with that.
That's
Until he
another
wins a cup.
conversation.
Until he wins a cup, then it's his era. But no,
Okay.
until he actually proves
Okay.
a championship to me, I won't say anything.
Yeah, that's another conversation.
That is
for
another
later.
conversation. We're going off topic again.
Okay. This is funny, right? Because it's the first podcast. We're always going to have like these little mess ups, but it's like we were literally
We're gonna
talking
laugh at this and just continue. That's all we can really
Well,
do.
It's funny how.
Oh, you and me going live would be funny.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, hopefully when I'd stop stuttering, Okay.
Okay, I'm not gonna make fun of stutters.
Number 1
Ooh.
to you.
Yes, I have number 1. And this player, I think, is a big contributor to how Florida is. And it's Jonathan Huberdeau. This man has kind of been like hiding. He's been known as like one of the most underrated players in the NHL. And now he's kind of popping up there with Ovi, Draisaitl, McDavid, with all 4 of them tied at 53. He has 15 goals and 38 assists with a 20+ minus. 20. That is insane. He's on that first line with Barkov, right?
Or not a scout. His agent really wants that bonus.
Oh yeah.
Holy moly.
He's like, come on, keep it up, buddy. But honestly, this player has killed it. Like, after being kind of hidden in the dark and known as like that dark horse player, wow, good for him for kind of popping out a little bit. Like, hey, I'm here too, guys.
It proves my point with Florida. Their team is crazy. They just keep scoring. They do not stop.
He's still in his prime. He's
Oh yeah,
28.
he's in his prime exactly, man. He is honestly. I'll be honest. I don't think he should have been number 1. But we had your list and stuff. But man, he's proven that Florida is a team not to be reckoned with. Yeah, they haven't had the history, but my goodness, man, Huberdeau is proven. Well, one that he's one of the best player for sure. Like one of the most
player
underrated
in the league right now.
Is he top 10 this season for sure? Is he? Yeah,
I would say he's a top 10 player right now.
Man. I don't want to say anything because I have nothing negative to say. He's always been like that. It's just he's never had the team to like kind of express it. Because you know how a lot of good players, right? But they're talked about because they're on a good team.
Yeah.
I think that's why Huberdeau is underrated is because Florida has never had that much talk about except for Kodak Black and stuff like that. So maybe
Kodak Black happened on Tuesday. What are you talking about?
I'm telling you, Kodak
I know it's basically dead when you go there. Like the Florida is dead there, but cool. You get to see Kodak Black getting twerked on. Cool. Like honestly.
Hey, if it grows the game, then the NHL's okay with it.
Well, did you see that tweet the NHL made of like, oh hey, Kodak Black as he was halfway through the game and everyone's kind of looking at him.
Did you see that they deleted the tweet?
Oh yeah, I would probably do that.
Well, because it was it's so funny. Something funny. Let's go off topic quickly. With the Kodak Black thing. So you know how I said the Florida Panthers organization was like the next booth from Kodak's booth?
Yeah, I remember that.
So Roberto Luongo sees this and he tweeted, which is so funny, right? Because Roberto Luongo is one of the funniest hockey personalities because he just tweets funny stuff, right? And he doesn't tweet too much, but he finally did, and it's just like, thank you, Kodak Black. We finally got another Roberto Luongo tweet. So
I really wish.
everyone won.
I really wish that NHL players gave their personalities a little bit more. It would be more funny for the game and probably grow it a bit more. But again, they're supposed to hide it and kind of cover that up. So what can you really do?
I don't know. It's like I think some people don't like the sport. I think some people just want to play the sport. You know, they don't really care. I mean, like people love seeing like Trevor Zegers, for example. He's like been in the talks a lot because of he's having a great rookie season. And his personality is great for the league. I agree.
Oh, is he actually like kind of more open and everything, and actually can say something?
Oh,
or is he just a good personality?
It's just the Anaheim media and stuff has just been on him. So he's just been really good with interviews and all that. And
well, maybe it'll be a good thing.
That's what people are saying. I think it's great for the game. You know, I think the media. Dude, this is great. We have so much stuff to talk about for other podcasts.
Please don't take fighting out, please. That's all. It's one of the big things.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's try not to get off topic.
You want to go? You want to talk about All-Star game now?
I think we're pretty much done. Okay, so we'll just quickly recap our list here. So number 6 was Philip Grubauer.
Number 5, Steven Stamkos.
Number 4, Nazem Kadri.
Number 3, Johnny Hockey.
Number 2, Alexander Ovechkin.
And number 1, Jonathan Huberdeau.
Cool. That was a fun little segment. I'm glad to do this.
That was a fun one.
Hey.
And now we talk about this All-Star game.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
So here. Let's do this. So, Brendan, talk about what you think about the All-Star here. I have the list. Or do you want me to give out the list first?
I'm searching up the list. You can give me...
I have the list right here. I know most players. I'm just going to forget some. But there's a few things of conversation I'd like to talk about.
Okay, I am all ears, buddy.
Okay, so which division do you want me to talk about announce first?
Let's go. Let's go Metropolitan.
Ooh, okay. All right.
It's the first one that popped up on my screen. So
we have from the Carolina Hurricanes, Sebastian Aho. From the Hurricanes as well, Frederik Andersen. From the New York Rangers, Adam Fox.
Don't even get me started. No, continue. Just continue first.
Okay. No. That's a story for another time.
No story.
Anyways, Claude Giroux, Philadelphia Flyers, New Jersey Devils, Jack Hughes. I mean, he was injured, but hey, good for him. Glad he made it. Tristan Jarry from the Pittsburgh Penguins. I looked up Jarry's stats. He's got like a .922 save percentage. I didn't think he was actually playing that well right now. Yeah, because honestly, like
that kind of came out of nowhere.
It's weird, right? Because Matt Murray, right? Like he's gone now, and he wasn't doing as good before he left, and then Marc-Andre Fleury is gone. So the goal thing hasn't really been something to think about. But
dude, he's 18-7.
Yeah, isn't it crazy?
That's impressive.
Which because it's like. I follow the league, right?
That's really cool.
What's weird is I follow the league. Like, I know which teams are doing good and whatnot, but it's like Pittsburgh, to me, like, I didn't even realize that that's what's happening. Pittsburgh's a weird team this year.
Because it's Crosby and Malkin's era is basically ending. They're going through that weird rough patch of like, we'll let you guys keep playing and everything, but like, you guys are almost done. Yeah, or maybe Crosby can prove me wrong. That'll be cool.
It's between, do you retool, rebuild, we're almost playoff position, what do you do?
They're kind of like what Chicago is. Like, just out of that dynasty, and now you're kind of like, okay, guys our star players are aging. What the hell do we do?
Yeah, I think Chicago's in a worse position, but yeah, for sure, I agree with you on that.
Okay, you want to go through the Atlantic?
Okay, no, sorry, there's more on the Metropolitan. I didn't finish, my bad.
Oh. Okay.
Chris Kreider from the New York Rangers. No surprise here with Alexander Ovechkin. I think he's the captain, if I'm correct.
Are you still in Metropolitan?
Yeah. Yo, Adam Pelech of the New York Islanders. Islanders have had such a weird season where it's like most of their... I don't know. I think they're missing Eberle. I think they're missing more scoring. The Islanders, it's just weird. Adam Pelech, I think you can search Pelech some stats up and stuff. I was honestly thinking that Anders Lee would still be there for the Islanders, but I don't know. Hey, good for him. I'm not trying to.
You saying Adam Pelech, man?
Yeah, and
is that what you just said?
Yeah, and Zach Werenski.
He has 20. So he's played 26 games, has 1 point. He has 6 points.
He's a defenseman, right? So.
Yeah, I guess, but really,
defense.
I can probably think of a few other.
After we're done the list. There's a conversation we'll talk about as well, so we can add on to that actually. So yeah, Zach Werenski, the Blue Jackets. Okay, so let's do the Atlantic next. Drake Batherson of the Ottawa Senators. No, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. Patrice Bergeron of the Boston Bruins. Jack Campbell of the Toronto Maple Leafs. my honorable
That is
mention
an
there.
interesting one.
Rasmus Dahlin from the Buffalo Sabres.
Darlene, I believe his last name is.
Yeah, I guess it's pronounce it however you want, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to judge.
Victor Hedman of the Tampa Bay Lightning, Mr. Jonathan Huberdeau from the Florida Panthers, Dylan Larkin from the Detroit Red Wings,
Good for him.
Austin Matthews of the Toronto Maple Leafs,
Whatever.
Nick Suzuki of the Montreal Canadiens, and Andrei Vasilevsky of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Cool.
That's a pretty fair list. I
like
don't
that
have
team.
any complaints. Like, good for Larkinen to actually show some potential because he's their captain and he's kind of been hidden a little bit, just like Huberdeau was. But no, good for him for making his
Yeah,
All-Star.
I don't know. Yeah, this.
like-
You know what? I don't even. You say hidden. I don't know if I agree because I don't know. Larkin's Larkin always is. It's just that the Detroit team is still young and stuff, but
yeah, he's 25.
Larkin has great potential.
He's
and
scoring
he'll
a
always
point
be-
a game, basically.
Hey man, he's almost as fast as McDavid. Well, as the record
Yeah.
says, he's faster.
But honestly, about this list, I have no true complaints of anything, to be honest. I think...
I have one complaint about this division. I'll talk about it later, like I said in the other segment. when we do-
yeah, we'll go back.
All right, let's do Team Central. Kyle Connor makes sense. The goal scorer.
100%.
Dude, Kyle Connor, man. He's. I don't think he's I don't-
after Line left.
No, I don't even think he's even considered underrated. He's just not talked about. Kyle Connor is just a good goal scorer. That dude has a scoring touch.
Yeah.
I would-
100%. I
Seriously.
can't complain about that player. He stepped up when Patrick Laine kind of left, and I personally still don't believe they should gave up Laine like that. But maybe it was just management
That's probably
problems.
why it wasn't talked about too much, right? Because Laine was the big, even if it wasn't even talking about the good parts about Laine, the Fortnite stuff or whatever.
Oh yeah.
He was still talking. I don't know, but it's good to see that Kyle Connor is getting that recognition. Alex DeBrincat of the Blackhawks. I love DeBrincat.
Yeah, that's
Great, solid player.
good player.
Kirill Kaprizov of the Minnesota Wild.
Love that player.
Man.
That is such a
That
rookie.
dude is a W. He's a great
Minnesota
player.
is so lucky that they kept him. Holy moly! Because where
Yeah.
was he planning on going? He was going back to was it Russia?
Okay, so the story's weird because there was rumors that he was going to go back. I think to go into play in the KHL, but I don't think he ever was planning it. But I think his agency was talking to them just because negotiations weren't working. I can't remember the story correctly, so you'd probably have to search it up later. But
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I'm not that worried.
anyways, great for man. Wild need a Kaprizov.
Not
Seriously,
I wasn't that
Wild.
shocked when I saw his name up there.
The Wild finally have a player that is an All-Star. Literally. Clayton Keller of the Arizona Coyotes.
Wow.
Hey, here's another honorable mention that I said. Jordan Kyer of the St. Louis Blues. Good for him. Good for
Team
him.
Canada. Remember him
Yes.
on Team Canada, man?
Yes. What year?
Oh.
2018?
Yeah, when he won the
2019?
when he won the gold with them with Dubé.
When Dylan Dubé was captain. Yes. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Can't wait until he becomes good.
Oh man, that's awesome. Nathan McKinnon of the Colorado Avalanche. I think.
Not that surprising.
No one. Here's another non-surprising one. Cale McCarr. Right.
Oh,
Literally
one of the best defensemen.
Gonna what
Better than Adam Fox.
what? Yeah. Literally.
He's the true Calgary
Actually,
kid.
no.
He's the true Calgary
No
kid.
bias aside, McCarr is definitely the best up and coming player.
I'm not trying to say Adam Fox is bad either. Just like
Dude, Adam Fox is really good. It's just the fact that we have to have this stale fact that he didn't want to play for us. He only wanted to play for New York, But
it was hurt.
it's
That hurt.
man. But when's the last time you watched an Avalanche game?
A little bit ago. I usually
The next time you watch it, watch his skating. His skating is phenomenal.
Oh, I saw.
The mohawks he'll do, and his tight turns and his edges
he
are
killed it.
phenomenal. It proves to me, right? Because it's like I always say, hockey is the hardest sport ever, and the reason why I say it is because of the skating aspect. All right, the fact that you have to
Edges,
skate
cuts,
and the
stops,
speed,
starts,
it is crazy.
everything.
This dude, to me, he proves that point. But McCarr, seriously, as much as we're kind of giving him a pedestal right now. Seriously, great pick. Paul Cobb 2.0, like what Spit and Chicklets said on their podcast. Shout out to them. Joe Pavelski of the Dallas Stars. It's weird it's every time I see the name Joe Pavelski, I think he's still on San Jose. But hey,
I remember
no,
him.
good for him. Pavelski hasn't had a terrible season.
He's over a point a game.
Yeah,
He has 36
exactly.
points,
What,
10 plus minus,
and what's his age?
15 goals, and he's 37.
Good for him.
Yeah, really good.
Deserves it. UC Soros of the Nashville Predators. You know what? He is taken. I think he's taken Pecorini's shoes pretty good. I think he's just
Hey,
too
don't
good.
jinx it right now.
Yeah, he's just
You're gonna
too good
jinx
right
him, just like we did Rene.
This is a funny one. I don't know if this isn't funny. No, I love Cam Talbot. So Cam Talbot made it on the Minnesota Wild. It's I don't know. I didn't honestly expect him this year, but good for him.
Good for him.
You know what?
He needed that.
The Wild. I'm just glad the Wild are actually doing something. You know, their relevancy is finally paying off. Where they're actually winning some games. Team Pacific. Okay, so Jordan
Now we're
Eberle.
getting interesting.
Yeah, so Jordan Eberle of the Seattle Kraken.
Doesn't deserve it.
You know what?
I've seen the other players in the Pacific, man. He doesn't. I don't know.
Okay, you know what? Then I'll also go to the conversation that we're going to talk about later. But I'll rebuttal with I think Eberle is showing us signs of still all-star ability. I think the Islanders miss him. I think he helps the Kraken as much as they're not playing too well.
Yeah.
Thatcher Demko of the Vancouver Canucks. Dude, Thatcher Demko. He's a good goalie,
he
man.
is a good future. He's a good future goalie for Vancouver.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hopefully they don't mess it up like the other two they have. Sorry, Jason. I know you're going to listen to this.
Leon Draisaitl of the Edmonton Oilers. That's pretty given. The dude just scores.
He's him and McDavid are
He
back and
is
forth.
the most talented, lazy-looking player I've ever seen. Like, he'll look so lazy sometimes.
Did you just say the most talented, laziest player? No way, you can't.
Yes, because I'll watch him in games, and he'll kind of glide around the ice where you think, is this bum actually skating? But his hockey sense is really good.
I was going to say, that goes right to his hockey IQ.
Oh, his hockey IQ is just disgusting. It's so good.
Because sometimes, like, anyone could just, like, you're watching a game. You know exactly, like, oh, it's going to the corner, shoot, and, like, you play a game long enough, your hockey sense is insane. And Draisaitl and McDavid prove that. It just sucks that they're not contenders somehow. That's the biggest shock.
Never know.
Okay, anyways, continue.
So, good old Johnny Hockey.
Respect, my boy.
Let's go. John Gibson of the Anaheim Ducks.
Good for him.
He's a great goalie.
That team was on a weird stage.
I always said, the Oilers need goaltending, get John Gibson. Because Gibson wanted out. But now that the team, is actually doing something, he doesn't want out anymore. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
Yeah.
But good for him.
Who else we got there?
Adrian Kempe of the Los Angeles Kings. I think he's always been a good depth player for them. I honestly think even Alafao could have even been there for the Kings. Cal Peterson, too. I think Cal Peterson is actually showing that he's going to replace Jonathan Quick eventually. But Quick is having a decent season now. He's come back from before.
Quick is still at that age where he's like, oh, I can still do this.
Yeah. Connor McDavid, we all knew that. Timo Meyer from the San Jose Sharks.
Not that surprising. He's like a good...
Don't mind that at all. I mean, they could also have Tomas Hertl. I mean, of course, it's the trade rumors that he wants out and stuff, so that's possible. But Timo Meyer, he's been playing good. Alex Pietrangelo of the Vegas Knights, Golden Knights, and Mark Stone. So
that's not a whole lot of complaints there, but still at ease about the Eberle. I could see a few players being a little bit better. In my personal opinion, I believe a few more players. You know what kind of hurts though, as a Flames fan as well?
Yeah, what's that?
Markstrom. Markstrom's not on that list.
Yeah, honestly. Okay, I'll be right back. Duty calls, but Brendan, do you want to just quickly talk about it? Yeah, I guess you can.
Do you want to wrap it up?
No, it's all good. Hey, just talk to them about Jacob Markstrom for now.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, you're left with me because my good old buddy just kind of left me here sitting. And like I said, out of this whole list, I really see Jacob Markstrom kind of missing here because, like, if you look at this whole team around, you got John Gibson, who has had a really good season with the Anaheim Ducks. But honestly, in my personal opinion, I do see Jacob Markstrom being that next guy that should have been in here. But again, I think I'm not completely mad about how this team looks or anything. There are a few players that are a little bit left out, I personally believe. But yeah, that's what I personally believe.
Yeah, we're back. Sorry about that, guys. I had a little bit too much to drink for water there, so, duty calls. But, okay, so we were talking about the All-Star game and stuff. And, one question, or not one question, sorry, but one little thing I want to talk about is, so Nathan McKinnon had a comment from the media there, and it was because of Nazem Kadri, because right we were talking about how great Nazem Kadri has been this season, but he wasn't on the All-Star list, and that's a lot.
Oh, that was the other player I believe that should have been on here. Yeah.
But
that's what I thought was missing.
But the thing is okay, so that was the whole thing I wanted to talk about with the All-Star game is there are so many players that should have been on here, and so. But weren't. But so McKinnon was quoted saying something along the lines of was questioning like, do we really need every team to have a player go? Like at point he called
I can't
remember the quote specifically, but he was pretty much just saying that like, well, pretty much what he was saying was that Nazem Kadri, right, deserves to be on this team and doesn't understand why every team needs to have a player go. And I agree with this. I do. Because if you're going to talk about the All-Star game, you want to grow the game, you're going to put the best on, whatever. But then why isn't Nazem Kadri on there? Why isn't Brad Marchand, Steven Stamkos, Willie Nylander, Igor Shesterkin, Artemi Panarin? I mean, okay, so Crosby maybe just because he's been a bit down and stuff, and
injuries.
Same with of course Malkin, right? He's been injured until just recently, but it's crazy that a lot of these players aren't on here.
Why? What's the point of calling it an All-Star game when you don't have the best players of your whole league not playing?
Well, you have.
Obviously, it's nice for them to put at least a player by every team, because if you look at the Central, they have 2 people from Colorado on that list.
See, what's nice is there's still the last man in, so people can vote one more player into each division.
Oh yeah,
but that's only one. I mean, heck, even
I think Kachuk's going to get in.
You think Kachuk?
Oh, who else is in there? Who else is in that talk of
Doughty, Kachuk? I have it here. Let me just.
Again being a
Oh, you know what we never did? We never explained or said the coaches of the All-Star teams. I'll just quickly go through that.
All right, go ahead.
So Andrew Burnett for the Atlantic Division of the Florida Panthers. I agree with that because the Panthers have done absolutely phenomenal this season. Same with Jared Bednar of the Colorado Avalanche for the Central Division. Rod Brindamore of the Metropolitan. Now and I also agree with that because, like I said, top 3 teams in the league right now: Florida, Colorado, Carolina. The coaches have a lot to do with that as well. So they deserve it. Now, Pacific coach, I disagree with this one just because I don't think Vegas has surprised me too much. They've just been kind of normally where they think they are. I don't think it's been too whatever. But Peter DeBoer of the Vegas Golden Knights, for Pacific, which he's a good coach. Don't get me wrong. I just and this I guess this is an odd division with the coaching problems, but
they are first in the league. They are first in the league. You gotta give him some credit for that.
Wait, in the league? What do you mean?
Or sorry, in the Pacific.
You mean the Pacific.
Sorry, I'm a little out of it.
Oh no! I'm thinking Anaheim, man. Why not Anaheim?
Oh damn, that is a fair point. However,
honestly, it's as much as Dallas Aikens, I have him being with the Oilers organization a decade ago. I always think of him like that, but it's
I don't know. Vegas being top, Vegas's coach being top of the Pacific. I'm not completely mad about that. I can see why. Hell, if the Flames were actually doing as well as they were, probably you see Sutter up there. If Sutter wasn't up there, I would be pissed. But now they went to a shit show.
If the Flames didn't have that little, or wasn't having this little stumble right now, I think Sutter does. But I think even Dallas Aikens deserves it too, right? It was how Anaheim is surprising everyone.
If the Flames won those last 4 games, Sutter deserved that spot.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few other games before we were losing, but I think. You take about a week or 2 of more consistent play, Sutter for sure makes it.
Oh, 100%.
But anyways, I think it's decent picks. But yeah, back to what we were talking about the All-Star game and how some players aren't on there that should be, for sure. I think, like I said, I'm glad, good for Jordan Eberle, for example, to be on the team. But honestly, compared to some of these players, I mean, okay, they're not in the same division, but
do you have the ones?
I don't know. Brad Marchand, man. When I saw that Kadri and Marchand specifically were, and I guess Stamkos too, sorry, weren't in the list. I'm like, what? Crazy. So I guess I asked this question to you then, Brendan. What do you think? Do you think that these All-Star games should have players from every team participate, or just have teams full of All-Stars, but it doesn't matter what team they're from?
Did you just say that Brad Marchand didn't make it, but Patrice Bergeron did?
Patrice Bergeron didn't make it.
Brad Marchand has 43 points, and he's like he's their best scoring player.
I don't know.
What the hell? Okay, no,
Well,
but
nothing on Bergeron. Come on. He still is one of the best two-way forwards in the league and will be for another few years.
However, that is disappointing.
But okay, so what do you think then, Brendan? Do you think that these All-Star games should just have as many All-Stars, it doesn't matter what the team, or have at least one from each team?
I personally do think that it is kind of hurtful for some players that their performance isn't good enough to be an All-Star game and someone else's, and you look at the numbers and you're even like, why the hell is this guy here and why am I not here? And that must kind of hurt, but at the same time, it does kind of grow it of like team interests and team like, oh, my favorite team's this and this is the reason why I come here, other than just like one team being there. It kind of like makes it a little bit fair, and I kind of see why they do it, but at the same time, it's such a kind of slap to the face to the players of who've been performing this year and they're not in.
Yeah, I agree with that, with a bit of a slap to the face. I mean, I don't think the players care too much just because the All-Star thing's more of a promotional thing.
Oh, no.
Doesn't really give them, like, their accolades that they deserve, but it's like, come on. With the way Kadri's been playing and Marchand, like, they deserve to be on there. And plus, okay, I want to see Marchand and Kadri in these games just because, think of it, they are disturbers, right? They're
Scheiße disturbers.
Yeah, they are Scheiße disturbers, yeah? Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what they are. But, off of my terrible German accent there, but, man, they deserve to be on there. That's just what I think, and, hey, I think the All-Star Game will be fun. It's always fun having this conversation every single year, because there's always at least one or two or three players that should have been on there, but they don't even have on there. You know who else I think should have been on this All-Star list if he was playing a bit more consistent, with this month and stuff? I think COVID might have the COVID postponements might have something to do with it too. Andrew Mangiapane. Because remember at the start of the season,
oh boy,
at the start of the season, that dude was going off.
Actually, you know what?
Right?
I could kind of see what you mean. He was going off, and he actually was showing a lot of potential as a young Flames kid. But that COVID thing did kind of kill him.
He's not young though. I mean, young in the sense of like how long he's been playing with us, but he's what, 24? Or I guess sorry, he's
24 in this league's actually decent. He's in his prime.
But he's no rookie, is what I'm saying. Sorry.
No. No, but he shows the potential because he's been with the Flames for what, 2 years? He was in their AHL team and then he came up for 2 years.
Oh man, because he was in the development for.
Yep.
I think he's been with the team for 3, if I'm correct.
Yep.
And with the Abbotsford Heat, not Abbotsford. Oh my goodness, the Abbotsford Heat, Stockton Heat. Man, that's a throwback. Abbotsford Heat. The Stockton Heat for I think 3-4 years.
I would say 3, and then he came up to the league.
Something like that.
Then he came up to the league for 2, and now he's trying to actually show the potential and what his development is. And I'm really happy that he's going to be like a third line winger for us because he got Kachuk and Gaudreau on there, and he's kind of helping out the bottom guys, which shows our depth, and I really respect that.
Well, I just hope we sign him next year since he'll also be an RFA. I think we will. I mean, that's whatever. But he'll deserve the money he gets. I was actually hearing before we sign off here and stuff. His agent was talking to him, and they were thinking about maybe doing more of a short-term deal, which would be convenient for both sides. I think for us too, right? Because our cap space problems, right? With having to sign him, Kachuk, and Gaudreau. Plus. Yeah, him, Kachuk, Gaudreau, and then plus
I'm kind of curious.
Other signings that we're gonna have to do to fill in our little our bottom lines and stuff.
Actually, it doesn't look that bad for what next year's signings look like because we got to sign Kachuk, Matthew Kachuk, Johnny Gaudreau.
That's a lot of money, man. You're gonna have to move a few players. I think.
Mangiapane, obviously. Few bench players are going to probably get away. Probably might have to sign some defensemen, and then Oliver also is.
And Shillington too, right? That's true.
And then Other than that, it looks fine. Like, might have to sign some low players, but other than that, it doesn't look that bad.
Cool. Well, we can go in depth with this in the next episode there.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Well, I would just like to thank you guys for listening, and I hope you guys enjoyed our first episode of Puck and Stuff. And if you liked the video, please leave a like, a comment, and share and subscribe. That would be much appreciated from T-Dog and I. And again, thank you so much.
Well, thank you guys to being with us here at the start of this journey. You know, it's just a little passion project that we have going on, and you know what? It's just really fun to just do something and be able to enjoy a passion.
Yeah.
And just to spread it out and get to spread the message with everyone. So thank you guys for watching, and thank you for, I guess, a little listening. And we don't have video yet, but you know what? We'll
someday
we'll upgrade our stuff eventually. But hey, if there's any problems with this podcast, if there was any things that you had any questions, concerns about, just leave that in the comments there. I know like our setup's not the greatest. Like we need to for one, we need to get pop filters, so you're probably hearing a lot of puh and a lot of spit and stuff into the microphone. So we apologize for that. But hey, anyways, thank you so much for listening. You guys have a wonderful day, and bye-bye.